The OnePlus 2 review didn't quite have that wow factor, to be honest, but the company seemed to have gotten its act together with the OnePlus 3. We loved the phone when we reviewed it and has been our go-to recommendation when anyone asks what has good under ours. 30,000 till now. It was surprising that OnePlus decided to do a mid-cycle refresh of a phone that is just 5 months old. While this was met with cheer from those who were still on the fence, it came as a low blow to all those who had already bought the now outdated model. The OnePlus 3T is now on sale at Amazon starting at Rs. $29,999. The differences between the old and new models aren't massive on paper, and we felt the same the first time we got hold of one. We already know this phone is good, but is it worth the premium over its predecessor? We find out. OnePlus 3T design and build. It's astonishing how far smartphones have come in terms of craftsmanship, and the OnePlus 3T is another shining example of this. The body is built from a single block of aluminium, which feels as premium as any flagship built by Samsung, HTC, or Apple. The rounded edges make the device comfortable to hold. The button placement and tactile feedback is also very good. An alert slider on the left can be used to toggle between silent and do not disturb (D&D) modes, each of which can be customized. Sadly, due to this physical slider, you can schedule D&D to kick in automatically, which is something we sorely miss. The 5.5-inch AMOLED display has the same Full HD resolution and Corning Gorilla Glass 4 as the OnePlus 3. Pixel density is high enough to mask any jaggedness around text and icons, which leaves you with sharp images and vivid colors. We found that the dark theme with neon green accents looks best on such a panel. Color temperature is still on the cooler side, just like with the old model, but you can fix this to an extent in the screen calibration settings. Even with the temperature slider all the way to the warm end, colors still seem a bit off, but it's not as bad as it was on the OnePlus 3. The 3T also seems to have a brighter display, which is evident when the two phones are placed side by side. More than color calibration, it has the touch latency issue, which we found quite annoying. This is most bothersome when typing, and makes the keys on the keyboard feel sticky. The phone also tends to misread some swipe gestures at times, so we would often pull up Google search when we really wanted the notification shade. OnePlus has acknowledged this issue, and a fix is supposed to arrive with the Android Nougat update. The fingerprint sensor authenticates you quickly, and you can use it to lock apps too. It also doubles as a capacitive home button, and we have 2 more of these on either side, which are backlit. You can swap their functions or even enable on-screen buttons for navigation, if you like. The machine-drilled holes for the speaker at the bottom add to the phone's premium aesthetics. There is a Type-C port and a 3.5mm headphone socket on the bottom too. The gunmetal-colored back adds to the stealthy look of the phone. The camera bump remains, but you needn't worry about scratches thanks to the sapphire crystal glass. In the box, you get a 20 watts power adapter, a Type-C cable, a SIM ejector, and some instructions. The packaging and quality of the accessories are top-notch, so no complaints here. Since the dimensions are identical to those of the OnePlus 3, you can use cases and other accessories designed for the older model. OnePlus 3T specifications and features. We come to the first big improvement, and that's the SoC. The OnePlus 3T uses Qualcomm's newest Snapdragon 821 chip, which promises roughly 10% better performance in areas like processing power, power consumption, and user experience. There is 6GB of LPDDR4 RAM and a whopping 128GB of internal storage. This model we re-reviewing is the higher-priced variant, Rs. $34,999, but you can also get the 3T with 64GB of storage at Rs. $29,999. The 3T also has improved read and write speeds, at least the 128GB model does, compared to the older model. According to AndroBench results, sequential reads and writes see a 15–20% bump, but random writes are nearly 4 times as fast. Other specifications include Wi-Fi 802.11 acres, Bluetooth 4.2, USB OTG, NFC, and GPS. FM radio is absent. The phone supports 4G on Indian bands along with VoLTE. The OnePlus 3T runs Oxygen OS 3.5.3, which is based on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1. These features are pretty similar to what we've seen before in the OnePlus 3, just rearranged and redesigned a bit. Swiping right from the home screen lets you access Shelf, a customizable screen which lets you stack widgets for quick access. Swiping down or up anywhere on the home screen lets you access the notifications shade and Google search, respectively. The capacitive buttons can pull triple duty, as you can program long press and double press actions to each of them in addition to their regular function. The gestures menu lets you play around with various shortcuts. In terms of apps, the OnePlus Community app, Amazon, Kindle, Google Suite, and basic apps like a file manager and voice recorder. OnePlus 3T performance. General app and system performance is incredibly fluid, as you always have about 4 GB of RAM that test at your disposal. The generous amount of onboard storage also means you never have to worry about running out of space, even if you're a compulsive media user. The new Qualcomm SAC can run anything you throw at it without breaking a sweat. Heavy games like Asphalt 8 run flawlessly. Even with extended use, the phone doesn't overheat, which is quite impressive. The OnePlus 3T flies through benchmarks too. In Antutu, we got a score of 1,61,620, and 60 FPS in GFSbench. The punchy colors of the display make watching videos really enjoyable. The speaker is fairly loud if there isn't too much ambient noise, but isn't too audible when you're out and about on the street. That display has very good sunlight legibility too, with wide viewing angles. The phone also handles 4K video playback like a champ. If we have one criticism, it would be the placement of the speaker grill, which tends to get covered by your palm when gaming or watching a video. The front camera is the second biggest change compared to the OnePlus 3. It now features a 16-megapixel sensor from Samsung, with an f/2.0 aperture and fixed focus. Pictures are incredibly detailed in good lighting and look good under low light too. There is a bit of visible noise but no color noise, so pictures are still very usable. Small capture works well and automatically starts counting down as soon as it detects your smile. The 16-megapixel rear camera supports PTAF, has an f/2.0 aperture and can capture raw images. There is also optical image stabilization, just like on the older model. Landscapes and macros are highly detailed with good color reproduction. There are some visible artifacts from JPEG compression, but this is only noticeable when you zoom in all the way. The Auto HDR mode works well, and you even have HQ mode, which combines a few shots of the same frame to reduce noise, which works decently well. We quite like the camera's low-light performance, as images aren't too noisy and a fair bit of detail is preserved. Shooting modes include slow-motion video, time-lapse, manual and panorama. There is a 1080p 60 FPS video mode too, which is good for capturing sports and action scenes. Video quality for Full HD and 4K capture was really good. The third notable change is that the OnePlus 3T has a 3400 mAh battery. In our HD video loop test, we managed to go for 14 hours and 3 minutes, which we think is very good. During standard usage, we easily got a day and a half, and a bit more at times depending on amount of gaming. Dash charging works brilliantly, achieving a 45% charge in just 35 minutes, and finishing up in a little over an hour. Verdict. On the surface, The OnePlus 3T might seem like a minor upgrade over the OnePlus 3, the key areas being the battery capacity, higher resolution front camera and the faster CPU. However, after using it for the better part of a week, it's clear that the improvements extend to the brighter and more color-accurate display, and faster internal storage. The newer firmware also plays a big role in providing a better all-round experience compared to its predecessor. At its current pricing, you should clearly ignore the OnePlus 3 and spend the extra $S.2,000 for the OnePlus 3T, because it's worth it. We're not terrible convinced about the pricing for the 128GB model, as we feel that ours 5,000 premium isn't necessarily worth it. Don't get us wrong, it has still very good value even at ours 34,999, but something like a Quad HD screen for this version would have helped seal the deal nicely. It's really difficult to fault the OnePlus 3T, as it takes everything its predecessor did well and improves upon it. Low-light camera performance is better, and we have no reason to complain about the lack of expandable storage anymore. If we have to nitpick, then the lack of an FM radio might bother some people, and the touch latency issue can get annoying when typing, though OnePlus promises to fix this in the Nougat update. If you want the best Android experience on a reasonable budget, then the OnePlus 3T is the only phone you need. But then, you already knew that.